evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the CCN News Media On Point. This evening, we're on point with uh, just changing the dynamics of how we work with our youth and make things more pleasant to them so that they will want to work with us. Mr. Jerome Altman will be joining us shortly from the Exodus Institute, where he will talk to us about the program that he is garnering support for, and that's with working with the youth. And so that's mainly what we're going to be focusing on this evening. And then we have Dr. Spivey on the line, and he's going to be talking to us further about just, the fact that we're spirits first in these bodies, and that we need to recognize the power of that statement. So I would like to take just a moment for each of you to go around, introduce yourselves, tell us who you are, and just give us a little update so we know who's on the line. I'm Wanda Carter. Welcome to the show. Can we start with Brother?
Yes, I am Brother Jordan, and I also welcome you to the show. I am in Cobra Treasure and Social Economic Development Business Consultant.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Mike Ross, welcome to the show. Can you tell people who you are? And you're muted, Mike. You're muted. Okay, can you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Michael Ross. I'm a freelance broadcast electrician and consultant. And that's pretty much it. Was there anything else other than who I am?
No, just who you are. And then we have Brother, I don't see a name, so it's...
Well, I'm trying to change my name on the call here, but my name is Oscar Worrell.
Oscar. Okay, Brother Oscar, how are you? And welcome to the show.
Okay, thank you. I was invited by Brother George. I'm going to listen. Presently, I'm a retired City of Chicago inspector of 35 years. That was in 2023, 87 to 2023. I am presently got a new career in Chicago, substitute teacher. But in my community, I just have been elected the president of the Friends of Track and Field, which is my brother's legacy, Dr. Conrad Worrell, over there at the $60 million facility at Gateway Park. And so in 2026, we would be hosting the fifth annual Track and Field Invitational, which will include Chicago Public School Track and Field team. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And if you put your name in the chat, maybe I can help you change it on the screen. Okay, welcome to the show, Miss Muhammad. How are you? Wanda Muhammad? I think you're muted as well. Okay, well, Mr. Altman has not come aboard as of yet, so Dr. Spivey, I'm going to invite you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you. And perhaps we'll start the first segment before, as the first segment, since Mr. Altman hasn't come aboard.
I thank you for the invite for this marvelous platform that you have put together, Ms. Carter.
Thank you, sir.
I am the ambassador for global music from the Universal World Court. I am Dr. Claude B. Spivey. Background is architecture, engineering, commercial art. 67 years in the music entertainment industry. And I am presently with the Universal Court. I have put a dossier together, and the topic that we are entertaining this evening is perfect for that of which I have introduced to the World Court. That is graciously going to endorse this project and allow me to host 198 countries with music. The universal language is the frequency and vibration of that we have been graciously entertained over the journey of life. And that's where we are right now, life. And we are working diligently to manage that of this journey. Now, I thank you so kindly, Ms. Carter, for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, Wanda, did you get chance? You didn't get a chance to introduce yourself. So please take just a moment to do that. Tell people who you are and what you do.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I was having a little trouble unmuting. Thank you for the invite. The description of the conversation sounds so compelling. I said, I must see what this is all about, the Exodus and trickery and melanated people, you know, all of my favorite topics. Well, I'm retired now. Most of my work is behind me. I'm working on my book, my memoir, and I'm working on developing a algorithm and just a few other small things. I'm kind of like taking it easy, if you will. But anything in regards to the community and my people, elevation, you know, women in particular, I am interested. I am involved. So I'm glad to be here and thank all the panelists. I look forward to the conversation.
Sorry about that. So let's talk about Dr. Spivey. Let's cover your segment first because Mr. Altman is not here to introduce us to his program. So can we talk about being melanated people on this continent that is known as North America, but what originated as the Turtle Island, and its inhabitants were people that were of melanated skin color that looked like you and I.
Perfect, Ms. Carter. We are the indigenous aborigines from this continent that was called America, which is not the true name. And more than that, there are two Americas, US and the USA. And they're both fraudulent to our existence. We are the original beings on this continent called Turtle Island. And these things that you hear me say this evening, you can look it up, and then it will belong to you. In this identity that we must claim and be in the, as my sister has said, elevation. Elevation is the key point of your awareness. It is the key to open up the pineal gland, the right hemisphere of the anatomy. When you are in a conscious state and you meditate, you will be in the elevation of the right hemisphere of the anatomy, which is the right side. We've been indoctrinated backwards to the left. When you activate that right hemisphere of the anatomy, you will then activate the pineal gland, which will open up the third eye. The third eye is the elevation of spirit. We are the spirits that was created from the spirit of the universe. And that's where we are in this journey. We must know that we are the spirits We are not who we keep walking around thinking. You're not the vessel, nor are you that hue that we keep calling ourselves black, colored. We are none of them. Spirit is of the universe that you can't see, but you can feel the energy. And that's who we are. We are the energy of the universe. And I was sharing with the group, with this family, should I say. We have been misguided purposely because we are the owners of this continent, and they do not want you to know that. We are the indigenous Autochthon Indians. They said when Christopher came here, he saw 1 million Indians. He was talking about us, family. And they don't want you to know that. That's why we've been identified as 7 different concepts, and not one of them is relative to who we are. I will hold myself and let the presenter take forward in our journey of this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Spivey. We definitely I love to hear you actually tell this story about our heritage and our background very much. So to say the least, I do have a question posed, right? I'm actually interested in knowing where we're at on this world court, this world stage, where we're allowing other people to become the stage master, right? We don't have a spokesperson for our own nationality. We don't have a spokesperson for our own indigenous culture, right? So here we are, laying as lab rats, waiting for the bombs to drop. That's how I look at it at the moment. I'm just waiting for the bombs to drop. But what is that going to look like for this culture when we have the puppet master being in control of the, what we feel is his own discretion?
I've been graciously granted. I had talked last week to Wanda to see if we could get an audience with the ad hoc justice of the Universal World Court. He is Hindu I.L. Henderson. The World Court is a very interesting concept of who we are. The melanated, indigenous aborigines from this continent. And as I said, we have been purposely not identified correctly because it is we, the owners of this continent. And we don't know that we just don't know. I've been granted from the ad hoc justice of the World Court, and I'll be working with Wanda to set that up so we can get an audience, so we can really hear the truth of our journey and our placement on this planet. Way too long that we have been misguided purposely. Fear is the element that will remove you off this planet. Fear and anger. It will absorb your energy. We are the energy of this universe. Walk across some new carpet and go to touch something and see what's going to happen to you. You'll get a shock because we are the energy. Collectively, we are the power of this universe, but we just don't know that. And they don't want you to know it. Like I said to Wanda earlier before everyone joined us, if someone purposely misguided you, would you expect for them to treat you with respect That's the question.
Just because you know, I doubt it. I doubt it.
Count on it.
I'd like take just a moment, Dr. Spivey, to ask Wanda Muhammad, what say you about Dr. Spivey's concept of uh, the moral aspect of our psyche? You know, we are spirits first. So, uh, do you think that knowing that and knowing the power that's behind knowing that, can we shift the paradigm for some of our youth? Do you think that's a possibility?
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to do 2 points if I may.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. What the brother was talking about is absolutely real, and what we used to refer to it as next level, but it's here now. So we're at that next level. Also, it's referred to in the scriptures as the spiritual war. That's where we're at. We're at the time, the day, the presence, the era of the spiritual warfare. So as our other brother asked about like leadership and things like that, what happens is when you get into your elevated state in your meditation, as brother was mentioning, and we get into our higher self, if you will, our higher spiritual self, we will be connected mentally and spiritually. In other words, if I have a dream, you may likely have that same dream. If I have a vision, you may likely have that same vision, because we will be directly connected to the source of our lives. And that eliminates the need for pastor and reverend and prophetess or anybody else. We will be in direct connection, all getting the same direction. And so that is what it would be something to aim for. So we don't have to look for a person for fear that that person may go astray, or may be tempted by money, or may be tempted by some other way to betray the community, but in essence, guided by the higher power. And as a collective, it's a force that cannot be defeated. And it is the way that we can overcome our oppressors and the colonizers, the conquerors who conquered our people when they landed on these shores, and we were here, as brother said. So that's our whole focus. So in each of our calls, I'd just like to recommend that we just take a few minutes to just try to get grounded, get centered, get connected to each other in a spiritual way, because that's our ultimate power. And with the children, they'll be able to do it twice as fast as we, because they are born into this era. They're born into the time where certain things happen. I can't really explain it how I'm trying to put together in my mind, but if you're born at a certain time, you're going to do a certain thing. I always say, I was too fast for I was too late for the technical gene, because our young people, you see how they feel like they just born naturally able to do the technical stuff, and
they can do it. They can do it.
And they're born in this era of the spiritual too. And so if we begin to reflect that, they're going to pick it up like nothing. They're going to pick it up probably before many of us do, because we're so acclimated into what we've been trained through religion. And so it's kind of like a push-pull. We're trying to pull ourselves out of what we've been programmed and made to feel guilty, and made to feel all these different ways about our religious belief, not realizing that the God we're looking for is inside of us.
Thank you so much.
I'll leave it there. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. We've got a couple of more wonderful guests, like Mr. Jerome Altman is here, and then we also have Mr. Isaac Lewis, and I'd like for both of them, Isaac, if you could take just a moment to tell folks who you are and what you do, I'd appreciate that. And then Jerome, you can come back with telling us about the Exodus Institute and what your program is all about, that we all tuned in to hear. So Isaac, can I have you go first and Looks like I have to give you a little bump because you're muted. Oh, there you go. Hey, Isaac.
Hey, how you doing, Wanda and
How you
everybody?
doing?
Hello to everyone.
We all doing great. Glad to see you. How you feeling?
Welcome, welcome.
Pretty good.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now tell folks who you are. You guys don't know this is the publisher of North Lawndale News. But Isaac, you gonna tell them who you are and what you do and all that, and then we gonna go to Jerome and let him tell us about this program that we are all anxious to hear about.
But I'd like to segue into something that was very important to Wanda's conversation and I today. And I had shared with her about how what our project is about to involve is, what I shared with her was that I want to recruit 100 participants. I was saying kids, but 100 participants. And ironically, when her and I talked today, and we were talking about how this connection is so critical to the community, and I was sitting in the restaurant with Isaac, newspaper Isaac, and I got to sharing with him that I was getting ready to go on to the show with Wanda to tell about the project. And one of the things that I shared with Wanda today is that we think people know that we're here. And Isaac has been around, and I've been knowing Isaac for 15, I don't know how many years. But the whole thing is that what my project is about is that we want to take those 100 and turn it into 1,000. And within that, one of the things that I expressed to Wanda is that we can do this one person at a time. It doesn't have to be 100 people into one agenda. It could be the news, it could be sports, it could be music.
Can anybody hear me?
Hello? Can they hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Exactly.
Oh, okay. So when Isaac came on and shared what he shared, it was a connection that him and I were sitting in the restaurant, and I said, wow, why don't you come on the show? And so that's another link to that 100. And what I'm proposing is that we all connect and begin to build our own network with services, with people, even with the finance. So that's kind of giving an idea of what Wanda and I have been trying to work on. Now, with that, if each one of you here on this show send us 5 people, and I think it's about how many on the show?
We have 3, 6, 8 people currently.
And 8 times 5, that's 40 people right there.
Yep.
So it's a simple concept if we're all on the same page. I'm not being quiet, but I'm just trying to see if anybody has any questions about it or.
What's the end result, Jerome? What is your expected end result? And they need to know that.
The
What's
end
the
result.
vision?
Pardon?
What is the vision?
Yeah.
The vision is to connect the community and the resources so that we all, I don't want to say can eat, but so that we all are on the same page. Newspaper, Isaac, I hadn't talked to Isaac about being a part of under the newspaper. But by him coming on, now that's another way of us marketing.
Absolutely.
You know, and if he's on board, we're going to be marketing for him and he'll be marketing for us. Everybody that's on this this link has something to give, and that we must stop thinking that everybody knows we're there. We have to let people know that we're here.
Right. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And so that's kind of the agenda of what Wanda and I are trying to put together.
Questions. I know you folks have some questions. about how, when, and we're gonna start this thing and just how you get involved. So
What are the step-by-steps? What are we doing?
Well, what we would do first is everybody do an application, and in that application, it'll tell what services that you offer, so that way we can create the what's that called? The network. You create the network
mhm.
because as I'm on the west side, and I believe some of you are on the south side. I think Wanda's out in the south suburbs, and I'm not sure where everybody else is located. But I think the services are international.
Yeah.
I know people on the south side just as much as you guys may know people on the west side. And once
And
we put them,
the goal is because the media that we offer through the Chicago Communicator, that we're going to establish a 24-hour network. So we have the capacity to have everybody on this show can have an hour somewhere around the clock. There are 24 hours in the day. And if we did that, we could have a 24-hour network 7 days a week. That's around the clock every day of the year. Why can't we do that, folks? Don't we all know enough small businesses to form this network? That's a different business hour every hour of the day. We could do that.
Yes. I'm sure.
And
I'm
be
excited.
connected across the world. If we
I'm
want.
excited.
I'm excited.
So I'm sorry, I actually got kicked out for a little minute and had to got offset here a little bit about it. So I'm a little bit off a little bit from a few of the ideas that's going on about the actual concept here. So to actually aim some type of funding at it, I got to grasp the concept.
Well, can I just add something to it?
Absolutely.
Let me just add this. One of the things that we do and that we're doing is that we're not we're not sharing our services. And a lot of times what we do is we get together and we get on the show, but we don't finish the process. You know, we don't finish it because what happens is that once we leave the show, we go back to where we came from. What we want to do is put together a not so much a newspaper, but the newspaper is right there with it. We're going to have the news, we're going to have the radio, we're going to have the media, we're going to have word of mouth. So what we want to do is put together a campaign like we're running for president.
That's right.
So each organization here has a purpose, and we want to be able to put that purpose out there on a regular basis. What Wanda is saying, on a regular basis, because information is so critical for our children, for the community, for all the things that are going on in the community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is developing into a 24-hour network. Every hour of the day, we should have a different organization's story being told, product being sold, concept being warranted.